6 p.m. in Tiko, Fako division of the Southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, same time in Douala, Cameroon's economic capital city. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the primetime newscast on Equinoxe television with me, Armstrong Sander. In our top stories tonight, heavy rains have triggered a devastating collapse of a makeshift footpath, sweeping away victims in Bamenda in the northwest region of Cameroon, with rescue operations set to be underway as families mourn the loss of over 4 persons. The search for missing loved ones has been intensified. Plus, armed groups' repeated attacks and kidnappings have turned classrooms into danger zones. Classrooms have been deserted by lookers, and students also forced to go into hidings. Attendance plummeting in most parts of the far north region of Cameroon as the future of learning and teaching hangs on the balance, particularly in the Mayo-Chanaga division of this region, with activities of members of the Boko Haram terrorist group. This and more will be yours in this edition of the news. Thanks for making the right choice to join Equinoxe. Once again, welcome. You made the right choice to be informed by the best of television network across Cameroon and the Central African sub-region. This is Equinoxe Television. We are on our primetime newscast in English, live from Cameroon's economic capital city, Douala. Equinoxe Central News Desk. Now we're starting with one of our top stories. 4 people have been confirmed dead following a flood-related tragedy in Bamenda, chief town of Cameroon's northwest region. The victims were swept away after a makeshift footpath collapsed during heavy rains. Families are now mourning while rescue operations are set to be underway to get missing individuals, as Mbustela, our correspondent in the Northwest Regional Chieftown, reports.
Search and rescue teams led by the Army Rescue resumed operations early this Friday morning, combing through flood-affected areas in Bamenda 3. Soldiers alongside local residents are searching riverbanks and debris in desperate efforts to locate missing persons. So far, 4 bodies have been recovered, with 3 found at the Below Foncha neighborhood, several kilometers downstream from where the victims were last seen. The victims are believed to be among several people who were swept away after a makeshift footpath collapsed near the Maitu Bridge. The path had been created to ease movement after the main bridge was demolished, but under pressure from rising floodwaters, it gave way, plunging pedestrians into the fast-moving waters. Witnesses say the incident caught many off guard, dragging them downstream.
In talking to the population, when it rains, people should stay at home, be it children or elderly people. You see, when there's rain, people go out. That is where you have so many incidents. For example, what happened yesterday. So when rain is falling, people should stay at their various houses. Children like elderly people. It will permit that there will be no incident.
Family members of the victims are inconsolable, gathering at recovery sites and searching for news of missing loved ones. Residents are now calling for urgent preventive measures.
They should even teach the children how to swim so that at least when such an incident like this occur, they can even know how to resist themselves along the stream, because had it been these people have some idea of swimming, like they could have even resisted themselves as they were going down, as the water was pushing them down. So I'm really begging if the government can even try to implement swimming in school, teach the children how to swim. They should put it like one of the subjects in school, because actually we really need to teach our children how to swim.
Flooding is a recurring problem in Bamenda during the rainy season, often worsened by poor drainage and damaged infrastructure. Authorities say rescue efforts will continue as the community anxiously awaits for more answers.
We're staying on a sad note to say that Cameroon's showbiz sector has lost another icon in the person of Veriton Adrien Tefan, aka Foly Dirane, the 65-year-old animator artist and trainer who was sick for some time now, died in the nation's political capital city, Yaoundé, on Thursday, March the 26th, 2026. Foly Dirane came to the limelight in Cameroon through his flagship program, Deli, on the national television, that is the CRTV, who has been Adrien Tefan aka Foly Dirane is the question to be answered by Smart Jikan Gabriel in the following report.
It is impossible to discuss his career without mentioning Deli, the iconic CRTV program born in 1958 in Bafoussam. As Vereton Adrien Tefan, he passed through the Sacred Heart Primary School in Mokolo and then Lycée Leclerc to become a leading figure in Cameroonian media.
Okay, ça va? Il y a la forme? J'ai le modèle, c'est-à-dire que la demoiselle timide.
Yet, behind this rigorous academic path, he was disciplined and exacted standards that would become his hallmark. Foly Dirane elevated broadcasting to the level of civic engagement.
Pour éviter d'être infecté par le virus du sida, la meilleure chose, le meilleur moyen, c'est l'abstinence.
With his bilingualism nature, he transcended linguistic divides and brought together a remarkably devised national audience.
Positivité de sida, il y a la chanson qui sous-tend mon film Amour amer. Je vous ai dit bientôt vous aurez les 4 derniers épisodes, ils ont déjà été tournés.
Thanks to his TV show, Deli, artists who are now household names like Lady Pons and Moustique Le Charismatique got their start. Foly Dirane's speeches, often tinged with humor, but always profound, encourage civic responsibility, integrity, and self-improvement. Before his demise, Foly Dirane has been sick for several months now, which led to the visit of the Minister of Public Health, Manaouda Malachi, on his sick bed. Vereton Adrien Tefan, aka Foly Dirane, might have left the showbiz world, but his marks still remains visible.
Quand elle commence, ça déchire et elle met de l'électricité dans l'air. On l'a surnommé la vie du roi.
Born in Bafoussam and Shaw had the opportunity to study in the northern parts of Cameroon, it might not be the case of some young persons caught in this part of the country at this point in time, given the challenging security context. And in the following report, we will be telling you that fear and uncertainty are crippling education in Mayochanaga, particularly of the Far North region, where persistent insecurity and repeated kidnappings have turned schools into a high-risk zones for learners, as students flee classrooms or go into hidings to escape armed groups. Attendance continue to drop in several schools, leaving the future of teaching and learning in serious jeopardy. Our reporter Innocent has the rest of the story.
In the Mayo-Chanaga division, the ongoing security crisis continues to weigh heavily on daily life, particularly for students. At times, those of us in Moscota go around the village to know what happened at night before heading to school. Teachers fear going to school as well.
Parfois, les anciens même ont peur d'aller à l'école, puisque c'est pas facile de vivre à Moscota.
Despite reinforced defense measures put in place by the state, kidnappings for ransom and incursions by armed groups remain frequent, fueling a widespread climate of fear.
Last
week, Boko Haram insurgents attacked Chebe village, plunging them into misery.
Beaucoup de populations du village Chebe vivent maintenant dans une situation de vie difficile.
As a direct consequence, schools are no longer considered safe spaces. Many students, fearing abduction, avoid traveling or spend their nights in remote areas, especially in the mountains, to escape kidnappers.
Here
in Kuza, we sleep on mountain tops. We can't study at night again, except in the day. This situation has significantly affected school attendance. The unease was recently evident during an awards ceremony organized by local elites to promote academic excellence. The event recorded a low turnout of students, a clear reflection of the prevailing anxiety. On the ground, several schools have shut down, while some teachers have fled to safer localities. Students who remain often find themselves without proper academic supervision, further deepening learning inequalities. In response, students and their families are calling for urgent reinforcement of security measures. Authorities, for their part, say efforts are underway to contain the threat. However, for local populations, one reality is clear. Without a significant improvement in security, any attempt to revive the education system in the Mayo-Tanaga division will remain compromised.
From the far north region down south to the southwest region, particularly in Tiko subdivision, where Samuel Nukuri, the divisional officer for Tiko subdivision, has imposed a ban on the sale of some 2 alcoholic beverages, notably Wake Up and Bullet. Authorities in Tiko subdivision say that these drinks have had a profoundly negative impact on the local youth and have been linked by security agents to various illicit activities causing serious security concerns within the Tiko municipality and the rest of the Fako division at large, the southwest region. The ban comes into the wake of widespread protest by women in Mutengene who have been vocal about what they say is growing insecurity among young persons within that administrative unit. We have details with Rex Safon in Boya.
The 2 drinks, Bullet and Wake Up, both imported, are now considered contraband within the Tiko subdivision. The ban follows numerous complaints and a series of incidents linked to their consumption.
For some time now, we registered the increasing rate of insecurity and criminality in our municipality, in general. Some operations were carried out, in some areas identified and carried out for those criminals. During the search, we discovered that these drinks, Wake Up and Bullet, are highly consumed in those areas. Greater cases of even death. We lost a young man who, from what the parents told us, after having taken the bullet mixed with the Wake Up, he just ran and fell into the river and drowned. There's another case of a student who was unconscious, taken to the hospital. After medical examination, it was discovered that he took this drink. And most recently, our parents, the mothers of Mutengene, demonstrated a peaceful march condemning the high rate of drug abuse and especially the consumption of this drink by our children.
During a visit to several beverage shops at the Tiko market, the drinks were noticeably absent. The administration, however, warns that anyone caught selling or consuming them will face strict action.
Our decision is clear. They will have to face the law because a banned product should not be sold, should not be consumed. And in days ahead, our put up a commission go to the field.
Some business owners with large stock of the drinks had hoped for more time to sell off before the ban. Yet, due to the urgency of the matter, authorities acted immediately, a move that many residents have praised.
Due to the life our youths are living today, I believe the ban is very timely, and we believe other subdivisions and might be divisions can take suit of this.
Amid rising unkempt activities in the Tiko subdivision, some pundits argue that the first step towards restoring order is to identify and bring to justice those behind the sale of narcotics.
And on to religion and social activities, as the city of Douala prepares to welcome the Pope to Cameroon, which is built for April the 17th, 2026, a peaceful yet spiritually charged atmosphere has taken hold of Cameroon's economic capital city, despite intense preparations within the Catholic administration in Cameroon and Douala. The city of Douala's daily rhythm currently moves at a snail pace in anticipation to the Pope's arrival. Lord Manyero has more in the following report.
It is in a peaceful atmosphere that the town of Douala is waiting for the Pope's visit. The preparations at the level of the Catholic administration is more spiritual and emotional. Archbishop Samuel Kleda gave a private press conference on this occasion.
The purpose of the meeting was to involve all the priests of the Douala Archdiocese to communicate, the positive communication, to invite all the faithful to participate.
Over the expectations of all Cameroonians on the political and social challenges of the country, Heavenly Father Gustave Momi gave us a clear vision and understanding of the Pope's venue.
The world know that the mission of the Pope is very important. It is not the mission as the one of the head of the state. He came to deliver us a message coming from God, coming from Jesus Christ.
The implication of all religions is important, and the participation of other dioceses of the ecclesiastic provinces in Douala.
The participation of all the faithful, the Pope is coming to meet all the faithful. It is not only some person who are invited, is all the faithful, all the citizens of Douala. So the other dioceses of the ecclesiastical province of Douala has Bafoussam, Bafang, Konsamba, Edea and Ezeka. They are also invited because the Pope comes to meet all the faithful inside the ecclesiastical province of Douala.
Invitation cards will be ready to be distributed to all Christians.
There are invitation, but all the people, that invitation will be disponible, and at that time we will inform the faithful, the citizen, how and where to have the ticket for the access to the parking of the stadium of Japoma in Douala.
As the program stipulates, a mass celebration is programmed at the Japoma Stadium on April 17, 2026, followed by a visit at the St. Paul Catholic Hospital of Nilon. While the preparations are still going on, Douala is moving at a snail's pace.
And on to this interesting story, a major subsidiary of the Kaji Group has been inaugurated in the town of Aba, that's in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This inauguration in this strategic part of Nigeria, neighbor to the Republic of Cameroon, falls in line with the expansive vision of the Kaji Group, a laudable initiative at a time that African trade and positive integration is highly being preached. We have details with our special envoy to Nigeria, Babla Jonathan.
Aba in Abia State in the Federal Republic of Nigeria is one of Africa's major business hubs. Among several commercial centers, the area international market speaks volumes of the city's economic strength.
Right behind me is the Ariaria International Market in the city of Aba in Abia State, Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is a continental pool of business. People come from several African countries to purchase goods in this market. The Ariaria International Market is developing and modernizing. As you can see right behind me, these are brand new buildings constructed by the Abia State administration, and the market is taking a new facelift, and gradually the whole market is going to look like this.
In this vibrant and fast-moving business environment, enterprises, industries and factories are competing for the largest market share. Amid the competition, an international giant with African roots, Ultimum Limited, is making giant strides in the brewery sector with its Razzle brand of soft drinks. It is a subsidiary of Kaji Group. The international standard facility established in the Osisioma local government area was officially inaugurated by Abia State Executive Governor Dr. Alex Chioma Oti, March 25, 2026.
The chairman of Kaji Group, Nico Kaji, thank you for deciding to invest in Abia State. It is an established fact that the immediate beneficiaries of any project cited in any community are the members of that community themselves. They reap continuing dividends through job creation, access to opportunities and other benefits that develop over time. I'm aware that the promoters of Optimum Beverages have made good provisions for impactful corporate social responsibility projects in their general outlay. It should therefore be taken for granted that the social and economic realities of this community will change for good in the months and years ahead.
The top management of the brewery company say the business venture is a new opportunity for Abia State, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Africa at large.
This facility represents an investment of several millions of dollars, built to global standard, with world-class technology and best-in-class production capability. When you go, you will see for yourself. But beyond the numbers, the real value of this investment is not in the dollar spent. It is in the life it will impact, the opportunities we will create, and the future it will unlock for Abia State, Nigeria, and Africa.
This multi-million-dollar facility will produce brands we are proud of and bring to this market. Razzle Cola, Razzle Orange, Razzle Lemon, Razzle Nous, and our Kick Energy drink. But more than beverages, this represents partnership with strategic allies who carry our products, logistics partner who move it with care, and retail network already over 20,000 retailers. It represents jobs, hundreds of jobs, direct employment, and thousands of indirect opportunities across our value chain.
The multi-million francs CFA investment by a Cameroonian company is also seen as another milestone in bilateral cooperation ties between Cameroon and Nigeria.
This is the first time that we have a Cameroon company who has tried to come to Nigeria, and they are succeeding very well.
This one is the real company that came with pure investment.
During the inauguration ceremony, the people of Osisioma, through their traditional leaders, expressed their joy with the coming of the new company. They awarded traditional titles and recognitions to 3 members of the Kaji family and top officials of the Kaji group, including the group's board chairperson, Nicole Kaji.
We confer on you. This is Kaji, Chief Akuzulumba, 1,
After the first phase, the second and third phases are expected in the next 5 years.
Interesting indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with that interesting report from Babla Jonathan, a special envoy to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, particularly to Abia State, that we put an end to this edition of the news on Equinoxe Television. We thank you for today and for the rest of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, much thanks to our technical team and all of you. We urge you to stay connected to your #1 television network, Equinoxe, because it is not all for news. Our next edition of news will be in the French language. That will be at 8 p.m. As for me, rendezvous is taken for same time on same platform. That is Monday. Enjoy the rest of the weekend with the weekend programs on Equinoxe. Goodbye.